You are about to watch a video about the company called Texas Andres Pedersen AS, which has been on the Danish market more than 50 years. Within this project we made primary and secondary research, and in this video we are going to talk about the secondary data we found out. Looking at the internal part of the company where we use the business model canvas, talking about customers, infrastructure, value proposition and finances.
Texas divides their customer into 5 different categories. The first one is DIY, which means they have branches as Netto, Bilka, Silvan, Bauhaus and Obi in Germany and Scandinavia. Those stores sell their products directly to final customers. They also sell products through their distributors in Russia and Europe. Another mean of selling products are dealers mainly in Denmark, Sweden and Germany. They are specialists, professionals or service centers who are experts in a particular country and industry that obtain the knowledge relevant with selling the products. Texas also sells products to end users through online selling, but customers can also find their goods on different other e-shops.
Texas sells their good in 2 ways, directly through their own website and store, and also indirectly through different distributors and dealers. On their website we could find a wide varied list of dealers with some information about them.
They received only 6 reviews with a general rating of 4.3, while their online activity is rare. On the other hand, they provide best after-sales service, which is a key activity in their success. It is important to be able to help customers in every process, and Texas learned it through their experience. They have obtained a very large knowledge, experience and know-how in this area.
When creating the value, Texas Andreas Pedersen AS company is well known for their best after-sales services, as we already mentioned when talking about customer relationship. Besides this, the company offers overnight delivery and 24 hours service, which make them even more profitable by the fact that they are providing international sales. Their 57 years of experience and know-how in the garden sector helps them create a large variety of quality products, having competitive prices at the same time. Moreover, they sell their products internationally, and that helps them reach more customers globally.
To mention some of the key activities of Texas Andres Pedersen, we need to start with the manufacturing which takes place in China. It is the main purpose of the company. However, what makes the company special is the shipping to the other countries. Of course, Texas needs to keep developing and designing its products, while operating its main activities from its headquarters in Odense.
Talking about key partners, we found 4 which are very important for Texas. Ningbo Tricks Machinery is a Chinese partner who Texas created joint venture with in 2015. Texas brought the main expertise, meaning they already had market knowledge, and they shared with the Chinese partner who set up key staff and tools. They employ around 100 people, and 76 of them are workers in a factory who produces gasolines, engines and lawnmowers. Another partner is Chinese Tsingtao Moorland Company Limited, who is 100% controlled by Texas and employ around 30 workers. They produce gasoline, cultivators, sweepers and accessories for those products. AP Motor Center is a company that owns Texas stores in Odense and Svendborg in Denmark. They don't sell only Texas brands but also other like Husqvarna and Stiga to final customers. They also hold showrooms for Texas where customers can see and test the products. The last key partner company is Moorland Industry, which is an online store controlled and 100% owned by Texas, and they sell products to private end users. They focus on Danish market, but also Swedish and German customers can be reached.
To mention some of the key resources that are important for Texas, we can have a look at human and physical ones. In recent years, the number of employees in the company Texas changed radically. 2 years ago, they employed 40 workers, but later the number of employees had decreased to 25. Due to their financial situation, they were trying to cut the number of employees to lower costs because they are higher than gross profit. Texas AS owns 2 factories in China. First one is placed in Qingyo, called Kingdo Moreland, and the second one is located in Ningbo. Talking about Denmark, there are two retail stores, one in Odense and one in Svendborg, and it sells Texas as well as competitor products. Texas also owns a warehouse in Odense where they store their products or spare parts.
Talking about financials, the period of 2014-2015 for Texas Andreas Peterson was the worst one for the last 5 years. The gross profit of more than 20 million Danish crowns was only 47% of gross profit in 2010-2011 and 69% compared with the previous year. This year is significantly bad for the Texas AS as it is in the first year in the last 5 years shown in the annual report where they ended in a huge loss of more than 10 million Danish crowns. Looking at the sales, we can see that the situation in Denmark is favorable as the sales raised by 1%, as in the 2014-2015 sales reached value of more than 80 million Danish crowns. In contrast, global market did bring decline of the sales by 32%, where sales on the global market dropped from 76 million Danish crowns to 51 million Danish crowns. In the annual report we can see that the costs are significantly higher than the year before. Talking mainly about distribution and administration costs, with the amount of 36 million Danish crowns, for the last period they reached the highest cost for the last years of being on the market. Comparing with other years, the distribution and administration costs together in 2014-2015 raised by 19% compared with year 2010-2011 and 80% compared with the previous period 2013-2014.
Looking at the organization of Texas, we can say that they are currently focused on products and development more than customers, which is a mistake. Their organizational structure is divided into different departments that can focus on what they are best at. Their structure is more flat than tall, which means it elevates employees' level of responsibility in the organization. On the other hand, fewer levels of management lead to an easier decision-making process among employees. To make complete analysis of the Texas company, we needed to go through different other factors, and one of them was to look into the industry. Industrial machinery is one of Denmark's largest export commodities. It exports all sorts of machinery for various industries, and it is still very dependent on agricultural production. Therefore, traditionally, Denmark has also produced innovative agricultural machinery, and agricultural machines like tractors and harvesters are also exported especially to Eastern European countries.
Political and legal. Both international and national laws has big influence on which products a company can sell. There's a lot of laws that have to be followed, and there are always more rules and restrictions coming up. For example, the European Garden Machinery Industry Federation has a long list of regulations that concerns how much noise the machines can make, which kinds of substances they are allowed to use, and regulation on gaseous emissions of garden machinery.
Health and safety law is a body of law that protects the health, safety, and welfare of employees. That's why it is important to make restrictions to avoid injuries and ill health. This can improve productivity, strengthen life for equipment and machinery, and there is also less chance of damaged building or product. Moreover, it can reduce sickness payments and recruitment or training costs for replacement. People new to a task should receive adequate information and training to do their work safely and effectively. Depending on the nature of the work, the training may vary from simple instructions provided by the supervisor through to nationally recognized courses providing comprehensive basic training and accredited qualifications.
Environmental. It has impact on the company and the industry that the Danish politicians have an interest in creating a green and sustainable society, which takes a position on how products are produced and how energy efficient these products are. It can therefore be described as a trend that there is much interest in creating a green society, and it will thus have a direct impact on the company that politicians have focused on this area, and this can change taxes. It may also have an indirect influence, argued assumes an expected change in the buying behavior of the consumers. It must be assumed that the consumers increasingly demand energy-saving products. It can thus be seen as both a threat and an opportunity for the company, since it depends on whether Texas A.S. can fulfill that changed purchasing behavior in the market, seen relative to the competitors.
Danish consumers are known to pay special attention to design and other details contributing to a pleasant atmosphere in their gardens. Thus, it is unsurprising that an improvement in the economic climate instilled greater confidence in many consumers to spend more and invest in home and garden products for the purpose of creating a nice atmosphere in their living environments. Respectively, sales of garden specialist retailers increased. This development was also linked to growing activity in real estate. Danes who change living locations choose to invest in their new residences in order to have a new modern home to satisfy their needs.
The technological conditions in a country, for example, affect how easy or difficult it is to communicate and sell its products, and since we are involved in a world where many things are going online, are being considered therefore trends in online shopping. The level or infrastructure are also involved, as it can affect the practical part of the distribution. In garden machinery industry, many companies use automated production, which means that they replace human resources with production lines connected to softwares. This can reduce costs for manufacturers, distributors, supermarkets, and many other different businesses. On the flip side, the gradual increase in job automation might not be such a great thing for job search firms.
Economical. Denmark's economy is doing good with a 1% of growth. The gross domestic product (GDP) in Denmark was worth $295.16 billion in 2015. The GDP value of Denmark represents 0.48% of the world economy. Denmark's industrial production decreased by 0.3% year-on-year in October 2016, following a downwardly revised 3.5% drop in the previous month. It was the second straight month of decline, dragged by a fall in manufacturing production, minus 1.3% from minus 3.8% in September. On a seasonally adjusted monthly basis, industrial output grew by 3.8%. Industrial production in Denmark averaged minus 0.07% from 2001 until 2016, reaching an all-time high of 12.90% in June of 2015, and a record low of minus 21.8% in April of 2009.
Looking into our SWOT analysis, we already specified most of the company's strengths when we talk about creating value: experience, know-how, day-to-day shipping, multilingual company service and website in several languages, accessible prices, and of course, the most important one, best after-sales service.
We think that the weaknesses of the company would be the location, because they have only 2 stores in Odense and Svendborg, and the distribution cost is high. The relationship with its customers is pretty poor, and they don't provide many information for the people outside the company. Even if they have years of experience behind, it seems like Texas A.S. company is not aware of using the latest technologies, and their financial situation is unstable, according to the information we got from the annual report.
The opportunities we thought about for the company would be to expand more in Denmark, including Copenhagen, because the Danes are favorable, so it would be more profitable, especially if the costs would be lower at the same time. The customer relationship must be improved, and the company should be more open for the public and offer information.
We consider a threat new companies entering the market, and also the climate changes that cannot be predicted, too rainy or dry ground. In this case, it would limit the number of selling products. There is also another threat of losing market share by remaining financially unstable and even bankruptcy.